TidePod, I'm gonna kill you for this. Yo guys, Christian and Spring Gamer, and welcome to another video. So today, I got quite the one for you today. It has nothing to do with the dress I'm wearing right now, more or less. It's actually a video that has been done to death by many people, but I wanted to put my own little weird spin on it. How about to say that? How to edit a YouTube video. Now, I have a few years of experience with video editing ever since high school. I'm editing various variety of things, from school events to sporting events to Let's Plays in more recent years. And YouTube videos are kind of a weird thing to edit because they are kind of an entirely beast of their own, with their own kind of techniques and ways of going about it. But today I'm going to try keeping things as simple as I possibly can. I'm going to go through some of my old footage, some of my own stock of footage, probably from a Let's Play. Try to keep things as simple as possible as I possibly can to give you a good idea of how to edit a YouTube video, rather than just being left to the wolves and figure it out on your own. Okay? But before we begin anything, I'd like to mention I do stream on Twitch a couple times a week if I can try. I'm actually on a tentative schedule right now where I can only stream when I'm actually able to. I don't actually have a set schedule currently right now. So whenever the week begins and I have my next week's schedule open up for me for work, I will post a tweet on Twitter, which you can find down below as well, detailing the week's streams and what days going to be at. Also, you can check the Twitch channel on the calendar, which is in the Twitch channel, which is actually a neat feature. I like that. Go on your Twitch. Anyway, you can also check me out down there. You can see whenever we're live, and join me for even more fun times that will obviously not include a woman's dress that I did not totally get from Goodwill. So I'm on my computer right here. I'm actually, believe it or not, I actually use Linux as my main daily driver when it comes to content creation. The reason being is that I hate Windows. I hate having to pay for a subscription for Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere Pro or anything of that sort. So I use pretty much free software throughout my entirety of my workflow. Now I know I just did a bunch of videos saying about, I did Vegas effects and whatnot. It's good, but there are better options out there, especially ones that are free. Anyway, I digress. So when you're making a YouTube video, at least for the first time, you may not have a whole lot of experience with it, with any types of videography, video editing, or anything of the sort. So editing a proper YouTube video can be a bit of a daunting task for you. So what I suggest you do is that you practice on a much more easier form factor than the actual proper YouTube video with a whole bunch of other effects and editing and whatnot. So for the purposes of this video, to get you started in learning how to edit a video, the bare basics, I'll show you how to edit a Let's Play video. Now, if you're not familiar, I actually used to do Let's Plays for the last 4 years before I started doing educational content. And I can say with utmost certainty that a Let's Play video is probably one of the easiest videos you're probably ever going to edit. Unless you're Terry Conroy, in which case it's completely bonkers on how his editing process works. But for most people, a Let's Play video is dead simple to do. So that's how we're going to get you started on learning how to do it. So for right here, I actually got to open up a new files window, and I can go to the place that, so the video I'm going to show you how to edit today is actually the holiday 2019 video from Star Trek Online from obviously 2019. I already have the clips and commentary ready. That's all we really going to need for the bare minimum. Now for this particular video, I actually had some music to go along with it, and I don't know where the music went. So for the time being, I'll be using some stuff from YouTube video audio, the YouTube audio library, which I probably should go and get right now actually. All right, so I have the music files into the project. So first thing you're going to want to do here is take your footage clip. Now Olive is going to ask you whether or not to set custom parameters or use footage parameters. What it's essentially asking you is that, do you want to set the what's it called? I guess you could say the format of the timeline compared to the project or the footage you just put on here. If you put on a video clip onto the timeline for the first time in the project, it's going to ask you this. I'm going to set it to the footage parameters. Now, don't mind all of these kind of daunting clips here. This was recorded in a time where I had no idea what I was doing. And it has a bunch of clips that we're not going to need. So I'm actually going to unlink them. Actually, that's not the right button. I need to... What was the... I forget what it was called. Control L. There we go. So we're going to have to figure out which one of these... In this case, we're going to have to figure out which of these clips we need to keep and which ones we need to get rid of. And all of it's a little bit, at least this particular version of the alpha, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So we know for certainty that this one up here is our video clip, the only one we have. So we want to keep it. This one, we're actually going to mute everything else by just dropping the decibel level of everything to negative infinity, which means muted in this case. Just set to that. And then play the video. No sound, which is good because that means that clip there is redundant. So I can get rid of it. So it's probably safe to assume that the rest of these at this point are also redundant. So we will get rid of them. So we're also going to bring down our commentary clip. Now, the two main components of Let's Play video are two things. One is the video itself. The second is the commentary. Now, a Let's Play video, in essence, is a video game commentary. If you've seen commentary on sports channels, you'll know what I'm talking about. Essentially, what you're doing here is you're playing a video game and commentating over it. This is a very important distinction to note here because when it comes to Let's Plays, you have to be talking over it. It is not considered a Let's Play, at least in the traditional sense, at least what we know it today, unless you are commentating over it. Very important distinction there. So how do I go about making sure this is in sync? Well, that's a little bit more of a complicated thing since I don't remember exactly how I used to do it. But if I remember correctly, I start talking as soon as I close the map window in the game. Just keep advancing a little bit until the thing goes away. Control C, or just C in general. V, zoom back out. Get rid of this. Go back here. Zoom back in. Nope, not me. Put it right there. There we go. And then clip that off, and then boom. Move this forward. Yo guys, and things should be in sync. So things are kind of quiet right now. You probably can tell on the video. Zoom this back out here. So it's pretty quiet, as you probably tell on the video. That is fine. Now the thing about recording a video like this is that I'm using an audio interface that tends to be pretty quiet. I think I was still using, what was I using back then? I think I was still using my Focusrite Scarlett back then before I got my Euphoria UMC22. It can be producing a pretty quiet signal. That's kind of the point of a USB interface, that you have that room to boost the gain for. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to just bump this up to about, not negative, about 10 decibels. See how that sounds. Particularly too far into depth, let's bump it up a little bit more to about 12. That's what it will entail. Teeny bit more to 13. And this year I would like to rectify that. Okay, so that's good. Move this back up to 0, and I'll be going over pretty much, move this back up to about 6 decibels. Pretty much everything that I know personally about Haikus when running. Move this back up to 7 or 8 decibels because this event has not. Okay, that's a little bit too high. Move it down to 7. Not changed a whole lot in its past, because yeah. So that's how I probably, even though there was that bit of a clip there with the audio. That's just because I was using a poor audio setup back then. I think I was still using Mixcraft 7, Acoustica Mixcraft. It was a kind of a weird digital audio workstation that I used briefly. It's okay. It's not the audio compression is a bit weird with it. So essentially what we're going to want to do here is we're going to have to figure out where, so when you edit a video, whether it be a Let's Play video, whether it be a normal YouTube video, whether it be a music video, you never edit based on the video itself. You want to edit based on waveform. That is why it shows it to you. It tells you where the audio starts and ends. So you always edit based on that kind of thing. And what we're going to want to do here is we're going to for business. We're going to want to figure out where the silences are and cut them out. Because silences is not something you want to have in your video. Now, for a Let's Play video, at the very least, the edits can be a little bit more rough. As long as you are maintaining a continuity within the video, whether or not it is a rough kind of video, it's perfectly fine. Cuts can be rough, but as long as you maintain a uniform continuity within the video, it's easy to It's easy to figure out, easy to follow. You're perfectly fine with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut out all these little bits with silence, and I'll get back to you in a second. All right? All right, so I got the video mostly cut around, trying to getting rid of all of the long silences that the video had in between. So it's a little bit more concise, a little bit more coherent, hopefully. That's kind of thing. Like I said, your edits don't have to be exactly perfect, picture perfect. They just have to be able to convey in very fluid and continuous storyline. And it's kind of the thing about a Let's Play video is that it's kind of a story. You have a beginning, middle, and end, and it needs to flow smoothly from that beginning to the end as best as you can. Again, when you're learning how to make a YouTube video, it's going to be kind of a trial and error and learning how to edit a video properly. But the reason why I'm showing you again is showing you a Let's Play video first is because, well, Let's Play video is very easy to edit. It's just a simple matter of maybe a few graphics here and there, mostly pre-made anyway, and just cutting out silence. That's really all it really is. So now we got to cut around. The next thing I want to do is add an intro graphic and an end slate. If you're not familiar with an intro graphic, I actually have them already sorted out here. This is basically what it is. Sorry it's so laggy. It's actually going over the network. It's actually not going over that. We're just going over this thing. It's just an intro bumper that shows the logo of the channel. And it shows the name of the game and whatnot, which actually I need to grab right now real quick. What the intro bumper does
we have Bitty special
is that it just introduces the video.
Coverage of
just making sure this one actually has proper
Wonderland.
Yes, it does. Okay, so this one has the proper alpha channel included. So what I do is I have the intro bumper open. I advance a little bit until that comes into here. Move this forward here a little bit. So we have Star Trek Online, the logo here. Then what next I want to add is a transition. What was it? Title. When I add the title, I put the name of the episode. It's Holiday Special 2019. Of course, this is an outdated video, and I'm also going to keep it in the Ubuntu font. Keep it on Ubuntu normal. Actually, no, I want that color. Make sure it's actually not too big. It is way too small. That is way too small. All right, so now that I have the this in here, we need to add a couple of transitions. Actually, I'm gonna move this over a wee smidge more. All right, so I'm going to add some transitions now. And Olive makes transitions, adding transitions to your timeline, a cinch. It is so much better the way Olive does things than anything else I've ever seen. So press T, transition, cross dissolve. Boom. It is seriously that easy.
Yo guys, this is Spring Gamer. Welcome back to more Star Trek Online. Today on Star Trek Online, we have Bitty special episode, and it is the coverage of Q's Winter Wonderland. Yes, so last year.
There you have it. That's your intro card. You don't necessarily have to have an intro card. I just do it because I like just introducing the video in a more intricate level, which is just me showing myself facing the camera and speaking into the microphone. I think it adds a little bit more of a more depth to the video. I think it adds much more creativity, whichever way you want to do it. You don't have to, again, but it's kind of a neat little additive that keeps things a little more interesting from the start of the video. So after that, I'm gonna go back down to the end of my timeline. Nope. Back to the end of my timeline, and then add my. All right, so that's a bit of an issue with this. This right here is that the for this particular bit of video clip, the timeline and the clip itself for the end slate is not in sync. The audio is in sync. It's just that the video is not.
So I need to scale it back a little. So you probably hear that the clip is too quiet. So I'm gonna bump up the audio to about 14 decibels. And yeah, that's how basically it sounds normally. Topo Rainwater. That was a bit of a glitch with the thing, with the clip right there. That is not important for this video because you're not gonna be using this clip. So yes. So we are actually almost done here. It is almost a foregone conclusion at this point. All we really have to do is add our music. Music is a very important part of the holiday specials for me, at least when it comes to Star Trek Online, because it adds a depth that it would not otherwise have. So I have several selections here from the YouTube audio library. It is very simple stuff, nothing too complicated. It is just a bunch of holiday themed Christmas music. So I'm gonna add the first one here, Jolly Angel Old St. Nicholas. And I'm gonna drop down the volume here to negative 14 decibels.
Gamer, welcome back to more Star Trek Online. Today on
just so it is not too loud.
Star Trek baubles or ornaments.
Yeah, it's still a little too loud.
You can get
yeah, that's good. So negative 18 decibels is good enough. Add the next one onto here, but overlapping the clip from before. What we're trying to do here, and I'll show a little closer, is that we're trying to start the next song just as the last one is basically ending, because there's going to be times where the video or the clip or the audio clip has a dead space at the end of it. It will look like dead space, but really it's just part of the song and it's just ending. It's just fading into nothingness. You want to pay attention to that, but because it's nothingness to begin with, you can overlap it with your video, with the other in the next audio clip, and keep going on further and further until you have a coherent video. So I'm gonna record this, or go back down to negative 18. Do that again. I take my next clip. Zoom in here real quick. Make sure that it is at a proper audio level. Next one. Make sure that is at a audio level, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and going to audio up, put some audio up on the rest of the video, and I'll get back to you in a second. All right. All right. So I have everything all sorted out, and music is on here. They are at the proper volume. Everything is actually pretty good from here on out. Now, normally what I would do is I would watch it through once, maybe twice, to make sure everything is okay. But for the purpose of this video, it should be left as is, because it's not going to use this particular video that I'm edited just here and right now. It's not going to YouTube because it's not, well, for one thing, the video is back on YouTube anyway, but it's not relevant to the channel anymore anyway, so it's not going to. But for you, you would be wise to watch it over at least once or twice, just make sure there's no errors or anything of that sort in the video. So once I have my timing all set and good, it should look like this, more or less, at least for this particular video. It's time to export. But first, I'm going to save the project first. Yeah. But that's how you edit a YouTube video, at least a Let's Play video. I know it was kind of monotonous, and I know editing can be kind of a monotonous kind of thing to do. It's just something that not a whole lot of people like. But either way, it's actually a good way to get yourself started on making a YouTube video by editing a Let's Play video. You can find a whole bunch of clips online, but for this particular video, it's gonna be a first for me. But I'll be releasing the footage that I used in this video onto the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, link will be down below. But if you want to take a crack at editing this particular video right here for yourself, in any way you can, you're more than welcome to take the footage, download it for yourself, and use it however you like, just as long as you give credit to the original creator, which is me. That's how things work. I hope you understand that. But yeah, so this will be in the Discord. You can use it however you like, free, completely free. Just don't post to your own channel. Use this only for practice. Don't make me regret this. I'm actually doing something I don't think a whole lot of people would do anyway, probably for good reason. But don't repost it to YouTube. I can't stress that enough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video with me sitting in a woman's dress that I totally did not get from Goodwill.
This is seriously how women, like, what's going on with this? What's with the strap? Like, what's this supposed to do? Like, why? Is this supposed to keep your, I probably shouldn't go there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I promise I won't be in this dress anymore unless TidePodJesus makes me do it. God, TidePod. Anyway, thank you for joining this video. If you want to hear more from me, I do stream on Twitch every once in a while. I usually, because I moved to a tentative schedule, I'll be posting the week's streams on Twitter. And yeah, if you want to join me for that, link will be down below. Again, thank you for joining us. Give it the, probably should say give it a bit of a fat like, but that kind of goes without saying. Subscribe, turn on notifications and everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.